Well, hi there. I'm darkmindedsith, and welcome to a pre-E3 discussion. I'm throwing on a post-introduction here. Don't want to take up too much time here, because the video title pretty much sums up what this is going to be. I'm joined here by my friend Griffinlobster, and we're going to be talking about the upcoming Nintendo E3, general thoughts, predictions, all that fun stuff. I mostly want to get right to it, but I do want to throw in a couple of disclaimers here at the beginning. So first and foremost, my audio is not the best. I don't think it's terrible, but generally I in this discussion, I'm a little bit quieter than Griffinlobster is. I think you can hear him totally fine, but for me, you may need to turn it up some. Of course, headphones make everything sound better, so that'd be the way to go. But if you're going to listen to this in the background, then you might need to turn it up some. I did what I could to fix it. Unfortunately, I'm just a quiet dude. So headphones are encouraged, and by all means, I understand videos like this. It's not something you have to pay complete attention to. If you want to minimize this, listen to it in the background while you do something. That's totally cool. Just know that if you're going to do that, you might need to turn it up some. Secondly, as you can see, it's pretty long. Yeah, we got a pretty big discussion here. I'm generally not one to make videos this long. I know that it's a lot to ask to watch something this long, so by all means, if you tune out, you don't listen to the entire thing, that's fine. I mean, I totally get that, but I decided to roll with it because I just don't make videos very often anymore, and I figured if people are wanting more content from me, you may be down with a 2-hour video. So you're welcome to listen to it, the whole thing. If you don't bother with the whole thing, that's fine. It's just something to casually listen to. Not doing anything too special here. And lastly, before we get to the discussion here, it's going to start pretty soon, but I did want to throw out there that when Griffinlobster and I were getting ready to record this and doing some testing, he shared a little bit of an anecdote with me about his laptop, which I thought was pretty funny. So I'm going to go ahead and include that anecdote at the beginning here, and then once that finishes, then the Nintendo discussion is going to start, and then that'll be the remainder of the rest of the video. So the anecdote here does have an image that I think is important to look at, but after that anecdote, you're welcome to just minimize the video at that point. So anyway, I've wasted your time too much. Let's jump into the anecdote first, and then we'll get to the Nintendo discussion video. Thank you.
I'm not proud of this. So my laptop was pretty old, like I think like 7 years, maybe 7, 8. I've had this laptop for a long time. This old one.
Yeah, and you do have your built-in desktop, right?
Yeah, I have a desktop. That's why you do not the lion's share of my computing. So it's like I only use this laptop on trips and when I'm at my parents' house.
Mm-hmm.
Well, last night I got so pissed at the internet that I punched my computer's lights out. I'm not fucking kidding you. I feel like such an asshole. I punched my computer in its face. I will send you. I want to snap you a picture of what my computer screen looks now. I broke my computer.
Okay, so that's why you got a new laptop.
That's why I got a new laptop. And I don't want very many people to know about that.
Oh my god. That's pretty incredible, actually. Well,
I'm going to send you a picture of the screen right now.
Well, take comfort in the fact that you're Certainly not alone in doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I know. I just wish that I hadn't.
Yeah, I understand.
I couldn't believe that I did it. Like I just sat in stunned silence. I was like, "What the fuck? I'm some kind of caveman asshole who punches shit when it doesn't work."
Oh my god.
Yeah. So
Wow.
I walked it over my. Do you see the picture?
Yeah, I just looked at it.
Yeah. That's pretty fucking bad. I mean, I needed to get a new one anyway. It was actually kind of slow and shitty, and it bothers me all the time with Windows 10 updates. And the fan runs super hot and loud no matter what I'm doing, practically. And its battery life is like 10 minutes. But still, I didn't need to punch the damn.
Probably not that bad, huh? You didn't need to, you didn't need to treat it like the printer in Office Space.
Exactly. So what I did is I took your one text as law,
Okay.
as like the form of our discussion. So general discussion to start. I'm just kind of talk about like what I think the form of the conference will take. Some of the general sweeping generalizations of what they'll talk about, and what they won't talk about, what will show up, what won't show up. Then we're gonna say what we think the main event will be, and then I just have a list of games, and I have them listed into 4 groups. I call them the yeps, the probablys, the hopefullys, and the nopes.
All right, so I guess I'll let you go first. So general thoughts about going into this year's Nintendo E3 Direct presentation.
Right, because I guess it is like they call it E3 Direct, right? Is kind of what they call it.
It's basically like a Nintendo Direct, but it's just a little more exciting.
So the first thing I wrote down for like general discussion, and this is a pretty soft lob. I think this is a slam dunk. I don't think this is going to be wrong. It's going to be all software, no hardware, all Switch, no 3DS. I think it's pretty obvious at this point that they're at a pretty comfortable spot with where they are in hardware. It's pretty clear they aren't interested in talking about the 3DS anymore. Pretty clear that they're going full in on the Switch now, full steam ahead. It's been around for 2 years now. And I also don't think, and people are talking, Switch Mini, it's going to be docked. No, it's going to be all software, all Switch. That's like my first sort of general thing. And what do you think?
Yeah, probably. They've been talking about the Switch Mini for a few months or so now. Maybe it's even been speculated longer than that. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just not very convinced by it. I mean, I haven't looked a lot into the whatever leaked information we have about it. But I mean, I don't take that stuff seriously really anymore. Even when an article comes out that says like multiple publications are saying that this is going to be a thing, it's like I mean, how many times has that been the case where it didn't happen whatsoever?
Right.
So I don't know. I don't know if there's like 18 reliable sources out there that are saying this is going to be a thing, but
all of them are Wikipedia.
Yeah, all of them are Wikipedia. All of them are wikis.
Yeah, high school teacher would love the paper about the Switch Mini.
Oh yeah, for sure.
My thing about that is like there's this weird sort of like diametric opposition going on to what direction they're going to take the console if they do other versions of in terms of size, because handheld they've almost exclusively come out with larger versions over the years with more bells and whistles, whereas consoles across the board, even non-Nintendo consoles, they've come out with smaller ones, and the Switch is both.
Yeah.
So obviously the correct answer is they will cancel each other out, and the new Switch will just be the Switch again.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll just be the middle of the Venn diagram of console sizes. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why people are so convinced that that's going to be a thing. It just doesn't seem like a Nintendo thing to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that they've done a lot of different things over the years, but it also just seems like why, like why,
Yeah.
why even bother with that? It just seems like is I don't know. I mean, I'm sure if I sat down, I could come up with a 15-page thesis on how the hardware of the Switch could be improved, but I just don't see so much there that a Switch Mini or Switch Pro or something would be so worthwhile. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't see its call. There's enough innovation there already. Yeah, I just don't. Maybe eventually, sure.
Mm-hmm. And
But,
yeah. I mean, the innovation's a good way of putting it too. I mean, if this was just like another console that played games, I think maybe adding some more features to that would, I could maybe see that a little bit. But
sure.
it's like, what more do you freaking people want?
Right.
Yeah.
Like every other competitor in terms of like new hardware, they just like crunching numbers. They just throw bigger numbers at you. Okay, bigger number. Here's a bigger number. Here's more terabytes. Here's more teraflops. No, you don't know what a teraflop is, but you want that number to be big. And Nintendo's never been about that, Like they're like, we're gonna sort of come up with weird things you haven't thought of yet. So I don't know.
New ways to play. Yeah. They've pretty consistently been more about their software than their hardware. They've never been one to show their specs and try to impress investors with their specs. I mean, it's just never really been their thing. 'Cause that's kind of what Microsoft was about when the Xbox One X was unveiled.
Exactly.
It's like, look at all this. It's like the Xbox One, but better.
Yeah.
And that's just sort of not really Nintendo. They don't.
Right.
They're not like, look how much better this hardware is. Unless it's some gimmicky crap. Like, here's the Wii Motion Plus. It's more accurate.
It's more motion-y.
Yeah, probably not. I also think you're definitely right about no 3DS stuff. 3DS has become very, very much supplementary to the Switch. It's the 3DS is just like games that people kind of want, but it can't be so good that people get mad that it's not on the Switch.
That's actually very well put. Yes.
That's like they want to put stuff on the 3DS that is not just shovelware crap, not Tinkerbell's sparkly Magic Land,
right.
But you don't want something.
Hey, man, I was looking forward to Tinkerbell's Sparkly Magic Land, dude.
What about it?
I was looking forward to that game.
Dude, that was. I made a separate list for things I most want from Nintendo's E3 this year, and that's all I wrote was that game. Couldn't even come up with anything else.
That seems fair.
Yeah, so they don't want shovelware, bargain bin crap, but they don't want something that's like, man, this should have been a Switch game. And that's how people felt about Luigi's Mansion remake. They were like, this should have been on the Switch. So they went a little too far with Luigi's Mansion on the 3DS. WarioWare, I think, was just right.
Yeah, I agree.
WarioWare is something to get kind of excited about, but it's not so great that people are like, this should be on the Switch. Screw you guys. And there's not a lot of games to meet that happy medium,
Right. It's a tough niche to grab, but I think WarioWare is pretty spot on.
Yeah. Mario and Luigi remakes kind of make sense.
Sure, yeah, Mario and Luigi remakes are good. Maybe even future Mario and Luigi games, if they still want to try and find a home in that 3DS, I wouldn't be offended. I don't think fans of that series would be offended either.
Yeah, I mean, I think the 3DS is still fine for that series.
I would even go as far as to bet that there will be like not even a single 3DS game mentioned to this entire conference.
Oh, for sure, dude, for sure.
Yeah.
I'd be pretty surprised if they even utter the word 3DS.
Yeah.
The 2DS XL. The 2DS Mini.
Yeah. Gosh.
Yeah. So they're kind of slowly but surely washing their hands of the 3DS.
Wouldn't that turn people's heads around? People were all expecting a new Switch. They reveal like 5 new 3DS.
Another one. Yeah.
Yeah, another one.
I guess that is worth mentioning. You know, they do kind of do this with their handhelds, I guess, but not really with their consoles. I mean, there was like 17 different DSs.
Right.
But whatever. We're right, so.
True. All right, so what else in terms of like general discussion do you think? General predictions do you have?
So I don't know if this is so much in terms of predictions, but I mean, there's predictions that go with this. But for me, there's two pretty notable things about Nintendo going into E3 this year. First things first is that there's no Reggie Fils-Aime.
True that.
The Reggie Man's gone.
His body is no longer ready.
It's not ready anymore. His body, I don't know, the exact opposite of being ready. Is done, I guess. Because it wouldn't be his body's not ready.
Chin, dude, no more greasy chin, dude.
Yeah, God, I'm gonna miss that greasy chin, that inexplicable greasy chin he has.
How am I going to be able to perceive the light levels in the studio without seeing them reflect off of his chin?
Well, maybe someone will show up with really shiny lip gloss or something.
Oh, here's hoping.
So no Reggie this year, which means I assume that the E3 this year is going to be hosted by Doug Bowser, the new president of Nintendo of America.
Definitely not chosen for his name.
Oh yeah, absolutely not. Had nothing to do with it. So the question is, what kind of man is Doug Bowser? So I looked into him about as well as I could. So I spent 6 minutes researching him. So
seems about right.
Yeah. So he does have a Twitter. I looked into his Twitter a little bit to see the kind of stuff he was talking about. He does seem to lean more in the casual gamer direction.
Okay.
He's Mario and that kind of stuff, but he also did have a tweet about the new Unravel game that came out.
Yeah,
that game with the yarn
well,
dudes.
Yarn Boy, right? Yeah, and there's two of them in the sequel, right? You play two. There's two of them, like a red one and a blue one.
Yeah,
never played those games. They look cute though.
Yeah, they look really cool. But I haven't played them or anything. Anyway, he did tweet about that, and he was like, "I loved the original, and I'm really happy. I'm really excited to play the sequel." So that stood out to me a little bit. Like that's not like the kind of like bumbling family grandma kind of game that some video game presidents would be playing.
Right, that's a game you pay attention to. Like he's not talking about Fortnite. Like that's a game that you actually need to go out of your way to spend time thinking about. Not just like, oh, here's this game that's in the zeitgeist everyone plays. Let's talk about that for a little while.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Minecraft.
I'm hip with all the kids these days playing the stuff that you guys are playing too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I play Reinhardt in Overman.
So I would say I'm pretty optimistic about the dude. Because I'm pretty confident we're not going to get a hardcore gamer as far as a president. I just don't think we're going to get a guy like you and me,
Right now,
who talks.
I don't think that
video
position
games.
attracts that type of person.
Yeah, it probably doesn't. So I'm not really expecting somebody who's, I don't know, their favorite game of all time is Shadow of the Colossus or something.
Right.
So I'm not really expecting that, but I also don't really want somebody that seems very out of touch with what it's like to be a Nintendo fan,
Mm-hmm.
So I think overall, I'm confident he'll be a pretty good voice for what people like you and me want. What, I don't know if hardcore Nintendo fan is really the word here, but people who really care about Nintendo have been around for a long time and don't want to just see a bunch of like Mario Tennis crap.
Right. Yeah, people who care about the well-being of the company and their franchises being taken care of. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's obviously it's maybe a little to make a bunch of assumptions about a guy before he even shows up. But I'm hopeful. I'm optimistic about this kind of thing. I mean, he was chosen for a reason.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, his last name. So
it was his last name, everybody.
Yeah. And I think he's sold himself pretty well so far from his tweets and his pictures and stuff. He seems like a pretty wholesome guy.
Cool.
Yeah. Whereas like Bill, what is it, Tannen or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
That guy. He's all right, but does seem a little out of touch sometimes. Like sometimes he'll do presentations. He'll have big smiles talking about something. I'm like, no, he thinks people are going to be excited about this.
Yeah, it's like, do you even know what you're talking about?
Yeah, so probably, yeah. So I don't know. I'm hopeful for the most part about Doug Bowser.
Yeah, same.
But we'll have to see. But it'll be interesting at the very least, just because it'll be somebody different. And maybe he'll give us Mother 3.
I was wondering if you were going to mention Mother 3 or me first. I was planning on doing something much more sarcastic than that, but I like your hopefulness. I really do.
Yeah, because I'm pretty hopeful about it. Anyway. So yeah, he's going to be garbage. Anyway, the next notable thing going into this year's Nintendo E3 is just how stinking much we know about the year already.
Yeah, that's true.
It is it's pretty odd. It's borderline suspicious just how much we know about what's coming out this year already. It's they just don't really do that.
Very upfront.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So to kind of go down the list a little bit here as far as this year. So we had Yoshi's Crafted World that came out in March. We've got Mario Maker 2 coming out in June. And then we've got Fire Emblem Tree Houses.
3 houses?
Yeah.
Tree houses?
That's in July.
Dumb.
That's in July, I think. And then as far as games that are supposed to be coming out this year, we've got Pokemon Sword and Shield. We've got Animal Crossing. We've got Luigi's Mansion 3. And we've got the Link's Awakening remake.
Yes.
And then there's that Daemon Ex Machina whatever game.
Right, yeah. I don't really know anything about that game, so I didn't even list it. I have no idea what that game is.
Yeah. It sure is a game.
That's a game, all right.
Yeah, that's about all I have to say about it. Yeah, so, it could very well be, some of these might be delayed, I don't know, but assuming they're not, I mean, that's 7 games already.
Right.
And, yeah, I mean, if you look at the calendar year, okay, maybe that's 7 months out of 12, but that's still a lot. I mean, 7 games is a pretty busy year. So it's interesting. It has me thinking a lot about what they're going to do with that. Are they really just going to showcase a lot more of the games they've announced and therefore not announce a lot of new stuff? Are they going to just kind of announce new games for maybe like 2020 and showcase what's already been announced, maybe more in the treehouse, maybe something in the middle? I don't know. I feel like maybe they'll do something more in the middle.
Yeah. I think the more substantial stuff will consist of stuff that's already been announced, but we don't have a lot of details for. Mm-hmm. And then they'll shift to more to maybe bigger announcements going down the line. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
The smaller stuff will be the stuff that's farther on the horizon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably. It'll be more like, logo JPEG kind of stuff.
Right.
Yeah, at the very least, I'm hoping a more middle ground, because, as much as I'm excited about a lot of these games, I don't know. For me, going into E3, what's most exciting is not knowing what they're going to announce and what's going to be talked about.
That is the most exciting stuff.
It is.
Absolutely.
There's definitely games that are already announced that I'm looking forward to hearing more about. But I think the anticipation and the excitement going into an E3 is much more like, what are they going to show? What kind of crazy announcement are they going to drop?
Mm-hmm.
That's to me is what makes E3 most exciting. Not so much, I can't wait to see more gameplay of this.
Yeah.
So, hopefully they understand that. But we'll have to see. They did announce like yesterday or the other day that they're doing a Pokemon Direct.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that a little bit. That they're doing that before E3, right?
Mm-hmm. They're doing that before E3. Yeah.
Yeah. So does that mean the E3 is going to try and focus a little bit away from Pokemon? Like they're not going to talk about it as much?
I'm hoping that's the case. They did something. They kind of went in that direction, but then didn't last year.
Fair enough.
Yeah, they unveiled Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee like a couple of weeks before E3. Like it had its trailer and they showed it and everything.
Oh yeah.
But then they also showed it at the E3 Direct presentation, and it wasn't just like, here's the release date. They talked about it a little bit. Reggie.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, he spent some time talking about it. And it was sort of like, this would have been cool if we didn't know about this game already.
Yeah.
And, you kind of just
like
talked
even
about
just found out about it even, Like, it would be even cooler even if we'd known about it for a while and hadn't heard anything. And it's like, oh, cool, now we get some info finally.
Yeah. But they kind of, just talked about it, and he kind of talked about things that we knew already, like the Pokeball Plus and all that. Like, oh, yeah,
right.
They showed that. That might have had to do with the fact that they just didn't have as much to show. I don't know. But anyway, I'm hoping the fact that they're doing a Pokemon Direct a little bit before E3, and it's pretty close to E3. It's like June 6th or something. And I think Nintendo's...
Yeah, it's like June 5 or 6 or something, yeah.
And I think Nintendo's E3 is like the 11th. So I'm hoping that means that they don't have to, not touch it, but I'm hoping they won't take up a lot of screen time showing the game if we're already getting a direct presentation for it.
So I think that means it's definitely going to show up at E3, but I also think that it won't be center stage because of the direct. I'm hoping.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so too. Pokemon's always kind of been that way. It's kind of operated on its own a little bit. It's never really been center stage at E3. Yeah, it almost seems like a game that would be, but it just never really has been.
Yeah.
So anyway, I guess the conclusion here is I'm hoping for kind of a middle ground. I'm hoping the Treehouse elaborates a little bit more on the stuff that we have heard about already, and they don't really bog up the direct presentation with a lot of this stuff. They can show it a little bit more, like maybe reveal what Luigi's Mansion 3 is going to be called. 'Cause I'm guessing it might have a subtitle. Maybe some release dates, some release months, stuff like that, but hopefully they don't bog up too much time with that. So yeah, screw Nintendo.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I think, I think I agree with you. I mean, that's what I hope for. Sure, absolutely. What I think will happen, I think it'll be a fairly good bit of talking about stuff we already know. I think, unfortunately, that I don't know. I'm just kind of feeling that this year, because the year is so planned out, and we don't have details on a lot of the stuff. So I think that they'll see this maybe as an opportunity to give details. Again, we'll just have to see. And there are plenty of games that they could reveal, and there's plenty of things I hope for. But I'm optimistic, or I'm hopeful, but maybe not. Maybe super optimistic. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Plus, let's be frank here. It's kind of a Nintendo thing. Like, they kind of do stuff like that. You know, like showing that kind of stuff, and people are like, "Man, I want to see a bunch of new things." That's kind of something Nintendo has done a number of times, and if that happens this year, I'm not gonna be like completely blown away that they did that.
Yeah. Same.
So yeah, tone deaf idiots. So.
Yep.
All right,
totally.
So Griff, what do you think is going to be the main event at Nintendo E3 this year?
Okay. So this is what I think it's going to be, and from what I think this is a pretty popular opinion, but it does make a lot of sense for me. I think the main event is going to be Animal Crossing. For me, it represents the greatest cross-section of like anticipation and lack of details so far. I know there's a lot of people excited for that game. There hasn't been like a really proper Animal Crossing entry since New Leaf. And that series sells copies like crazy. It has a highly devoted fan base. So I just think it makes sense. Even if I'm not a huge fan of the series, I think that it would make sense to sort of make that the center stage game for the presentation. I don't know if you agree or not, but that's what I think.
Well, I mean, I wrote F-Zero, so...
Oh, damn it.
I guess we'll just move on from this discussion, because we're day and night here.
Yeah, clearly. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Okay. Yep. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
That's what I picked, too, for a lot of those reasons. The fact that they have teased it, and they've just consistently have not given us much more about it. Like you said, it's been quite a while since a proper Animal Crossing game, and if I've learned anything over probably like the past year and a half, is don't underestimate how dedicated this fan base is and how much people want a new Animal Crossing game. People
love. Oh my goodness, yeah, people love Animal Crossing. Like they're making their own stuffed animals and stuff. I mean, yeah, people love Animal Crossing. Yeah. I mean, it's got 2 characters in Smash Bros. I mean, there's some beloved series that only get 1 character in Smash Bros. So it's like,
yeah, exactly. It's had a lot of other spin-off kind of stuff over the years, and yeah, if you would have asked me like a couple of years ago, as far as Animal Crossing being a main event at an E3, I don't know if I would have been insanely convinced, but I'm pretty convinced now, because I remember last year how upset people were that Animal Crossing was a no-show at last year's E3.
Yeah.
I mean, Animal Crossing was like trending on Twitter because it wasn't announced.
Yeah. I thought it would be announced too. Honestly, I looked through our E3 predictions for last year, and I think I rated games like a 1 to 5 scale on how likely I thought that they would show up, and I think I gave Animal Crossing a 4 or a 3. Like I thought it would show up.
I had it pretty high. I was definitely expecting it.
Yeah.
So I think it's time. I think it's time to show it.
Yeah.
And
if I was doing the 5 scale again, I would give it a 5 this year. Absolutely. It has to be, right? I mean, because they announced it. They've been super quiet about it. The conditions are right, man. People are hungry, man. They want that Animal Crossing.
They're hungry. And I think dedicating a lot of time to it and really making it a big deal seems like the right way to go.
Yes.
It also makes sense just because I think if you look at a lot of the games we're expecting, like Link's Awakening Remake's not going to be a main event. Luigi's Mansion 3 obviously is not going to be a main event.
Right.
Don't really think Pokemon's going to be.
No, because they're doing the Direct.
Yeah. And then some of these other predictions I have, I mean, I don't know, maybe, but Animal Crossing just feels so much more right.
Right.
And I feel like it's usually something that's announced prior.
Yes, I was just thinking about that too. Like, I don't think they've ever done like, boom, here's a game you've never seen. We're going to spend a long time talking about it. Like that,
Yeah.
I don't think they've ever done that.
Yeah, like dropped some completely new news at an E3, and it was the main event. Like they always talk about it like ahead of time.
Yes.
So probably, and we're gonna.
Yeah,
and we're wrong. So.
if we're wrong, I actually be pretty surprised. I think this is a lock. I'm very confident in this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too. And
can't wait to be proven wrong.
Can't wait to be proven wrong. Yeah. Also,
Yeah.
I think the next Animal Crossing is going to be in the sky. I'm just gonna say it.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. The little Skyward Sword. Animal Crossing Skyward Sword.
Probably not, but there
have Mr. Rossetti be Fee.
Oh, God. He'd be more annoying, that's for sure. God.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I'd want to play the game. So, like, a few years ago, some guy did a video on, like, a proposed... like what Animal Crossing on the Wii U would be like.
Mm-hmm.
This was like years ago when Animal Crossing on the Wii U seemed like maybe a thing that might happen.
Right.
And he proposed the idea of it being in the sky because he mentioned something about like every Animal Crossing game has a different vehicle of transportation, and they haven't used like a hot air balloon yet or a plane yet.
Okay.
So like maybe. I don't know. But I don't know. I mean, I feel like to take Animal Crossing in a bit of a different direction and put it in a setting that is different, if done right, would feel like maybe worth waiting for.
Yeah. Okay.
And I don't know. I mean, who's going to be bummed out about that, honestly?
Right, it's going to be cool.
Yeah, Animal Crossing, it's in the sky. That's stupid. Wow.
Yeah.
You have villages in the sky. What kind of crap is that? I'm not buying that game.
So are they like, does he envision like floating planetoids type thing, or like the ground is clouds? Like
Probably like floating planetoids.
That's what I thought, maybe, because
Yes.
then you still got to do that farming, man. Got to have that fishing, man. You know what I'm talking about, man.
Yeah, you got to have all the farming and fishing and bugs and all the other bull crap.
Sky bugs.
Yeah, I mean, you got to have sky bugs. And then, maybe you can go to other, like, floating isles and, travel via hot air balloon or something.
I think it sounds like a really cool idea. What are you trying to do? Make me want to buy an Animal Crossing game? Like,
Maybe. And also, for the record, I think having the villager come out of his house, and then having like Isabelle or Tom Nook or somebody there, and they're like, "Wow, look at the sky today! Isn't that beautiful? I think it's going to be a great, beautiful day." And then they like kind of keep zooming back, and after they zoom out enough, it reveals that they're in the sky. I think that'd be a cool way to reveal it.
I agree.
I think that'd be pretty cool.
Dude, this trailer's going to be exactly the way you've predicted it, and people are going to, like, witch hunt you, dude. They're going to be like, this guy, he knew. He knew.
Yeah. Like, I've actually been working with Nintendo for a couple of years now. Yeah. I decided to, Snowden all this information.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty weird if I unveiled all this, like, weeks before E3.
Right. And, 50 people know ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
because you called it.
Yeah. So what would you're the master of this kind of stuff, Griff? What like pun kind of title would the game have? All I've come up with is Animal Crossing Sky High or Animal Crossing Cloud 9.
Those are both pretty good. Because actually I was thinking of Sky High.
Sky High, yeah.
Mhm.
It's not just a Disney movie. Like it's an actual term.
Right. Where did I listen to somewhere where someone like pitched the idea that it would be called Welcome to Animal Crossing because they saw the title said that. It was like actually, if you look closely, Welcome to Animal Crossing has been on the has been part of the logo I think for every game. I think all the logos say Welcome to. So I don't think it's gonna be that. I don't know. Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing. Head in the clouds. Animal Crossing.
There you go. Something like that.
Yeah.
Animal Crossing Head in Clouds. Yeah.
Beautiful. Perfect. Print
Sell.
sell, laugh.
Highest selling game on the entire Switch.
No, dude, in history, dude. Come on.
Oh, in history. In all of Nintendo's history.
It's gonna be Tetris. No, in history, it's gonna be Tetris.
God. It's gonna be like the freaking Cabbage Patch doll of gaming.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so I guess I'll go first here.
All right.
Because I had you go first on the main event. So, as far as games that I think might be at this year's E3, as far as the ones I'm most confident in, I'm kind of going back and forth on two games here. But I guess I'll start with this one. It's one you might not have thought of.
Okay.
Because I actually kind of thought about it a little bit later, and that is Shin Megami Tensei 5.
I have thought of that actually.
You have thought of that, okay?
Yeah.
Because they first revealed that at the Switch presentation, but before the Switch launched, where they showed Mario Odyssey and the Breath of the Wild trailer and all that. And they gave like this little tease for that game.
Yeah, tiny, yeah.
Yeah, and we still don't really know a lot about it. Like it's still like to be announced. And the only console it's been confirmed for is the Switch. Which leads me to believe it's either going to be exclusive or maybe a timed exclusive.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it could be. Which I think is awesome. I think that's great.
Yeah.
I love seeing the third-party support for the Switch.
Yeah, for sure. And while it's not Persona, Persona is quite popular. Persona 5 has been consistently popular. And I think that this would be a good way to, kind of cater to that demographic and cater to the success of Persona 5. So,
speaking of which, sidebar, how far are you in that game?
I'm near about 90 hours.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm about halfway through the game.
Make sure you let me know when you pass that hundo mark, man. I think it was like 120 for me for at least for Persona 3 and 4. I'll play 5 eventually, but.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I'm getting pretty close to the end. I'm like early October. And
oh, dude, you're gonna make it. I mean, you've already put this much time in. Even if the last bit of the game is dog shit, you're still gonna play it because you've come this far. You have to be.
Dude, if it's 2 months of an image of a Vienna sausage, I'll still finish it. Like,
dude, game of the year, baby.
Yeah, I've made it this far.
Maybe that's Atlas. Like, we're gonna troll everybody. We're gonna make games so freaking long. The last act is just gonna be a picture of Vienna sausages. No one's gonna see it though because they're gonna drop the game before they get to it.
Yeah, that's true. I might have made it further than most people have.
Hey, that's something to be proud of.
Mm-hmm. So, I think it's a pretty good contender for being shown this year.
Yeah, I say that's. Yeah, I think that's pretty good actually.
Mm-hmm. So where did you put that in your?
Right. So I don't think I told. I think I told you this before we started recording, but yeah, I have 4 categories: yeps, probablys, hopefullys, and nopes.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, yeps, I think are definitely going to be there. Nopes are definitely not going to be there. Like I would bet against them being there. Probably is I think are going to be there, and hopefullys are like they might. Like I'm not super sure that they will be, but they might. I put Shin Megami Tensei 5 into the hopefullys. I think that seems like where that belongs.
I think so. It's probably time. I mean, I was looking up a little bit on it. Apparently, when they first announced it, it was pretty much just like a development confirmation. Like the game didn't really exist yet. Like they were just starting development. And I think in like 2018, they said something along the lines of, "We're not even close to ready to show it" or something.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But that's been like a year, so. At the very least, you know, maybe a tease, a little bit of gameplay, 2020, something like that.
Yeah,
we'll see. But it's not going to be Persona 5 on the Switch, so.
You're saying you would put Persona 5, like, to use you'd put that in the nopes, is what you're saying, for Persona 5?
Probably right now. Right now, yeah. Just because they already revealed a couple of new things about Persona 5, and like that probably would have been the time to announce that.
Okay, good. That is exactly where I put it on my list. I put Persona 5 in the nopes.
Persona 5 Switch port, put it on the nope.
I put it in the nope, yeah.
I'd probably put it in the nope. Not so much never gonna happen, but that
it's not this year.
It's no. All right, so that's roughly my highest one. So what is your highest one?
Like the one that you think is going to be the most likely? So I guess that means you want me to avoid things that have already been announced, right?
Yeah, things that we're pretty sure, you know, if they've already been announced and they're probably going to be shown off at least a little bit. Things that we kind of like don't know about. Okay,
so no Animal Crossing, no Luigi's Mansion 3, no Fire Emblem Tree Houses, no Pokemon, no Super Mario Maker 2.
Yeah. No no Link's Awakening.
No Link's Awakening.
So nothing.
Now, well, yeah. So what if a game's like been like announced but hasn't really like? Because I think the one I have listed the highest, the only one we haven't talked about yet I have in the Yeps column, is Astral Chain. Have you seen anything about this game?
Astral Chain.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the one they showed at the last Direct, right?
Yeah.
And it's Platinum Games.
Yes, it's Platinum Games. It's like the guy, one of the guys who was a director on Nier Automata, which is a game I really enjoy. From what was that, 2017? Yeah, 2017. And so I mean, it has a good pedigree. I've liked a lot of Platinum Games stuff as of late. And I think that's a pretty safe bet, honestly. Because it was like you said, it was in the last Direct. I think it has a 2019 release date, like a Q3, Q4 or something. Maybe, or maybe not. I don't know. I know that we just haven't talked about it yet. But I would that's like my last full game that's in my Yep column. Actually, I played this pretty close to my chest here. I don't have any really hard bets that I think are definitely going to be there. But I think of the games that we haven't mentioned, I think Astral Chain is most likely to be there in some way, shape, or form. I'm not sure if we'll get like a hard release date, or if we'll get gameplay or just a trailer, but I think it'll be there in some way, shape, or form.
I think so.
Yep.
I don't have it because I forgot about it.
Yeah. I almost forgot about it because there's actually another game that's similar, that's in that vein, that I think is also likely to come out, or like there's maybe a less likely thing, but I'll talk about that in a little bit, or you'll talk about maybe you'll bring it up. So, but yeah, I think Astral Chain.
Okay. I think that honestly that's about it for me as far as what I'm most confident in. Most of what I have. I think that about does it for the stuff I'm most confident in.
Mm.
I think I think a lot of this other stuff on the list, it kind of ranges from I could see that being at E3 to probably not. The list would be a lot different if we didn't know so much already.
Sure.
But next up, here's what I have. I have Super Mario Odyssey 2.
Wow. Okay, you're going straight for that, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Yeah.
I of course listed that too, but yeah, sweet.
Yep. As far as stuff we don't know like anything about, but is a possibility at this year's E3, I have that one pretty high.
Cool.
Just seems right. I mean, it was a very successful game. Of like every.
So you think it's, yeah.
So I think what?
Yeah, you're right. Well, I'm sorry. I think it's something sort of like something like a Galaxy 2 situation. Where like, all right, we have all these assets, we have a game engine. Let's do it again. That kind of thing. So like a pretty quick sequel.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like more than just about any Mario game that's come out in like 15 years, there's, well, I mean, other than Galaxy and Galaxy 2, I guess. Like, as far as sequel potential, I mean, this one has like series potential. I mean,
honestly, yeah.
I mean, there's so much more they can do with this game. It almost feels like wasteful to not do a sequel to this game.
I 100% agree.
Yeah, I mean, with there's so many new worlds they could have. I mean, just an entire like 7-story building dedicated to making new captures.
Oh, I know. Like, good governor. Just the potential is so enticing. Like, there's so many ideas. Just because of that game's approach to creativity in general.
Mm-hmm.
Just how it's like any art style will do, any mood of the level will do. Let's just go nuts. Throw anything at the wall, anything that seems to stick. We'll try that out. Yeah, they could go nuts with captures. I mean, yeah, honestly, I agree. It's almost wasted potential not to just do more. I would just take more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because like this is what feels like the first Mario game in a long time where they were really allowed to just open up and just be crazy with it. I mean, you have like actual people walking around. A lot of the captures you have, a lot of the levels, it feels like there wasn't a lot of restriction as far as development went.
Yeah.
And if that continues to be the case with a sequel, which I would assume would be the case and hope would be the case, then, I mean, sky's the limit.
Yeah, honestly.
So many more worlds they could do, so many new captures they could do. It just feels right, and not too confident in a 2019 release, but I think showing it off and announcing it for maybe like early 2020 sounds about right. Which, by the way,
that would be spectacular.
Yeah, I would be very excited for that. People love Mario Odyssey.
That would slam dunk the E3 for me. Honestly, just Odyssey 2, even if it wasn't even like Q1 or Q2, even if they were like sometime next year, I'd be like, awesome, give it to me. I don't care.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if anyone's like, rehash, then like, dude, go. Do you not like fun?
Right, yeah. Go back to the Soul Store. Yours is clearly defective.
By the way, if Mario Odyssey 2 comes out next year, then this would be this would be like paired up perfectly with Galaxy 1 and 2, because Mario Galaxy came out in 2007, and Mario Galaxy 2 came out in 2010.
Okay, yeah, that would be perfect.
So it'd be like
come on, Nintendo. Come on, Bowser. Come on, Doug Bowser.
Come on, Doug Bowser. Yeah.
Do this. You know you want to.
You know you want to, man. Come on. Also, for the record, Mario Odyssey 2 is one of the few like main Switch games that hasn't gotten like like big DLC support. You know,
Yes.
so many of the other Switch games have. They've gotten like a big DLC package, or like constant add-ons. There have been costumes and like the balloon world, whatever.
Right. Which adds like a little extra sort of fun, but for the most part, yeah, they haven't really. No, what I would consider like an expansion pack, to use sort of a to use an expansion, to use sort of an outdated terminology. Nothing has felt like an expansion.
Mm-hmm.
It's mostly felt like just free little fun shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which has me quite open to a sequel happening.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that they haven't really added anything substantial, like a new world or a handful of new captures or anything.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Hopefully.
Sweet, man. I love it. I hope so. I really do.
Yeah. Where did you put Mario Odyssey 2 in yours?
Yeah, I had that in the hopefullys. So
Hopefullys. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty hopeful.
Yep.
I think we'll probably get it. I don't know if it'll necessarily be announced this year, or at E3 this year, but oh well. Screw Mario.
Yeah. Mario's the worst.
All right, so what do you have next?
So next for me is not really a standalone game, and this is my last yep. I just wrote new content for Super Smash Brothers and for Splatoon 2, and the reason I did this as a yep is because I believe there are tournaments for both those games during the presentation in some way, shape, or form. I think
there are.
So yeah, so I mean, I'm not really sure what Splatoon 2 is going to get. Whatever, just another iteration on splatty guns. Whatever. Smash Bros. We're going to get a new character. I think they're going to reveal the next character for Smash Bros. And I have some ideas as to what that will be. I know actually I have one crackpot idea of what it's going to be, but I'll actually save that.
You'll save that
for later, yes. But as a yep, I think we're getting new content for Smash specifically. I think we're getting a new character announced. I think that'd be really freaking cool.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot about the tournament this year as far as what's behind it or what. But I actually wrote no Smash character reveal.
Oh shoot! For real? Like you're sure that there won't be one?
I'm not sure there won't be, but
okay.
It's one of these like I've just got a feeling kind of things. Like I feel like they're doing this Smash tournament, and it just strikes me as like people are so going to think there's going to be a character reveal. The live chat when this thing is streaming is going to be like nothing but people screaming about character reveals. That's all it's going to be. Is show this character, I want this character, reveal this character. No one's going to give a crap about the tournament. They're just going to be talking about wanting a new character reveal, and it's just not going to happen. Nintendo's going to be tone deaf. They're just going to have this stupid tournament that no one's going to care about.
Yeah,
and that's all it's going to be.
You know, I can't disagree with you as being a good like read of Nintendo. They do have to have like it seems like they must have one disappointment, like one classic disappointment. We even just talked about how it was trending on Twitter how Animal Crossing wasn't announced last year. So this could be it, because it seems as if they're setting everyone up to reveal a new Smash character and then just to pull the rug out from underneath. That would be a very Nintendo thing to do. Yes, you're absolutely right about that.
It would be. I'd love to be wrong, though.
Sure.
If they reveal a Smash character, I won't be like, "Oh my God, they did it! I can't believe it." But if they don't do it, I'll pretty much be like, "Yep," because it'll just be like Nintendo gonna Nintendo, like.
Sure. Yeah. Fair enough.
That's the kind of stuff they do, They have something going on, and the live chat is screaming for something that they're not doing, desperately wanting them to do it, and then it's just like, nah.
Well, if they're doing if they're doing tournaments for both, that means there either has to be new content for both or new content for neither. I really don't think they would like screw one fan base over, while like gifting the other one. Obviously, the buzz around Splatoon 2 is much quieter, much quieter. It almost seems like a completely niche game now. If someone tells me they still play Splatoon 2, I'll be like, "Are you serious?" There are other games out there, you know.
Yeah. Like, if they're still having fun with it, God bless them. But
hey, more power to them. But yeah,
it's
okay, man.
It's kind of weird they're even having
that's fine. We can disagree. Yeah, but that's interesting that you feel as if there won't be one. I feel as if there will be one. I'm going to stick by my guns, and so one of us is going to be right.
Yep.
I think we both hope it's me.
Yeah. I hope I'm wrong. I'd love to see a new guy. I'd love to see like 2 character reveals or something crazy.
Sure, yeah.
But my gut tells me it's just going to be some tone deaf crap. It's just
Dude, Reggie Fils-Aimé for Smash.
Exactly.
That would be amazing.
So do you want to talk about potential character reveals? I know you mentioned that a little bit.
Like what the character I think is going to be?
Mm-hmm. You talked about it like a little bit. And then you mentioned.
All right, so this might then go into a completely other set of predictions that I'm planning on making. So if you're okay with me just kind of diving into this.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, so I think this is super crackpot, and I actually didn't even list this I didn't even give this a rating of like how likely I think it'll happen, because I don't know. It's really kind of nebulous for me. Mm-hmm. If I plant my feet on the ground, no, I don't really think this is going to happen. Mm-hmm. But it's something that could, and I've heard other people sort of talk about it. But Microsoft has been displaying interest in working with Nintendo over the past months and years. And there's mutterings that this partnership that they are enjoying is going to continue to flourish in some way, shape, or form, to the point where like we could see Xbox Game Pass on Switch. Mm-hmm. We could see more Microsoft exclusive indies be ported to Switch, like Ori and the Blind Forest. I know that game's old and they're working on a sequel, but I feel like that game would be perfect on Switch. Absolutely perfect. I played through Hollow Knight. I played through Hollow Knight again recently, and just in terms of like, I guess the moment-to-moment gameplay, like Metroidvania, that's difficult. It certainly feels similar. I love Ori and the Blind Forest. That game is beautiful. I think it would be just too perfect not to put on Switch. Mm-hmm. And then as I continued to dive down this rabbit hole of Microsoft Nintendo insanity, I was like, holy crap, what if they do the Halo trilogy on Switch? The freaking Master Chief trilogy is coming out on Switch, which is actually nuts. Probably not going to happen. That's the least likely thing to happen. Maybe not. I don't know. But if they do that, then the revealed character in Smash is going to be Master Chief.
Oh
boom.
My God.
I'm saying it right here. We're dropping it. We're dropping it right here.
Oh man. Oh no.
I know. Everyone. That's like one of the joke characters that everyone says online. Mm-hmm. Like that and Goku and all that shit.
Yeah, Shrek and all that crap.
Shrek. I can't believe people say Shrek. That's not even a video game character. No.
He's had video games, but I don't know. So is the Cat in the Hat. So.
Right. Yeah. Actually, but I think that some sort of that if they're going to reveal a new character, that it might be some sort of Microsoft property of some kind. I have a few other ideas. Possibly, I don't know. No, maybe not. I don't know. Possibly Cuphead. In Smash, that could be. I don't even know if that game has enough fan base to warrant that sort of thing. But Cuphead just got ported to Switch, so maybe.
I can see Cuphead maybe.
But I mean, like I said, this is crackpot stuff. Like I was going crazy here.
I could see it. I know they've sort of talked about like the remaining characters for Smash are going to be like more out there, you know. Like I think that's Sakurai like confirmed that. Like it's not going to be like you know Toadette or something, you know.
God.
Like and of course with all the third party support Nintendo's got now, and some of the like pretty out there third party stuff that has gotten on Smash Brothers now. That's what I'm. You know, I feel like if I had to place any bet, I would say the remaining Smash characters are going to be like third party kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Which means no Waluigi. I'm sorry. I actually thought maybe you were going to say Waluigi.
No, I have a few other things, but they're actually all they're all third party because I also wrote down like the Dragonborn from Skyrim. You know, like running around with that classic iron helmet, you know. You know the one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't have like a. Yeah, I did. I'm not so sure about that one either.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even scroll down far enough. After I wrote Master Chief and Smash, I wrote probably not. I was like ... probably not.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Plus, it's like, you know,
that's crazy. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Plus, you know, it's like he shoots, and I guess Fox shoots, but
but Master Chief shoots bullets. Like,
yeah,
and Nintendo has a thing about bullets. Like, you just don't have bullets.
Yeah.
Like you don't have guns. You know, like I remember somewhere I heard about the Rabbids from you know, from the Mario and Rabbids game, that the guns that they shoot had to look super not like guns. Like they had to do a lot of design weirdness to make them look not like guns at all.
Like way more like toys.
Yeah, in order for Nintendo to want to work with that kind of thing.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Hey, Rabbids, they could be in Smash.
Yeah, the Rabbids.
The Rabbids. It's just rabbit, and then you like choose what the rabbit looks like Luigi or Mario or Peach.
Of course, they just could not do that because basically people would be mad that it wasn't Rayman.
Yeah, you're right. People can't even look at rabbits anymore without like remembering that they for a brief time hijacked his franchise completely.
Yeah, if they did Rayman and the Rabbids, like it's two different characters or like paired up or something, I think maybe that could work. But if they just did the Rabbids and no Rayman, I think people would be pretty mad.
Yeah.
But you know what? If Nintendo did that, I would not be surprised.
So what are the Rabbids lore? Like what's Rabbids lore? Do they just like invade game worlds?
It seems like that's all they do.
Is there gonna be a Zelda Rabbids soon?
Oh my god. Dude, I should have wrote
that. Zelda Rabbids.
Metroid Rabbids.
Whatever.
Oh god. Yeah, it seems to be their thing. They just hijack franchises.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Speaking of hijacking, I feel like I've hijacked this conversation for a while.
Oh no,
with my crazy Microsoft shit. But anyway, my prediction: new content, maybe even character for Smash, and new content for Splatoon 2 as well. Yeah.
I can definitely see it. It seems like it would make sense. You know, why have these around E3 if you're not really gonna do anything with them?
Yeah.
But if it's just a tournament and that's it, I'm not gonna. My jaw's not gonna hit the floor. Like I can't believe they did this.
Yeah. Oh, you've soiled us. You soiled my opinions.
Yeah, probably not. Alrighty. So I guess I'll go next with the next one. This one's a little weird. So next up, what I have is the next game from Retro.
Okay.
It's a little weird because I haven't. I was torn on where to put it as far as
Like how probable?
yeah, because I feel like I'm kind of doubtful of it showing up, but at the same time I feel like, you know, because the thing about retro's a pretty big enigma right now.
Yes.
You know, we know now that they're working on Metroid Prime 4, but what they've been doing since Tropical Freeze, we have like no freaking idea.
Right. There's like rumors, like is it like a Star Fox game, Star Fox racing game or whatever?
Yeah, like that was you know, like a supposed leak last year, and then that didn't happen, and
Right.
I do definitely remember like and I remember it being like pretty close before it was confirmed that they were working on Metroid Prime 4. I definitely remember people talked quite a bit that it had been confirmed that Retro was working on something. We just didn't know
Right.
what it was yet. And I definitely remember reading, like on their Wikipedia, that there was like an untitled game they were working on, and I remember it had a source and everything. But now it's just like Metroid Prime 4. And if you go to their website and everything, you know, of course, no information.
Of course not.
So I don't know. I mean, it's just there's such a mystery right now, you know, because I mean, of course, they're
So at
working
this
on
year's E3, they're gonna reveal it. Cooking Mama. They're making the next.
yeah, new Chibi Robo.
Dude, I thought that same thing too. I was like, what's the lamest franchise? Wii Music 2, it's coming.
Oh my god. Yeah, they're working on a franchise that's been dormant for a long time, but it's been dormant for a reason.
Yeah.
So yeah, so like we just don't know what's going on with Retro, but I feel like, man, they have to have been working on something, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, we've had like the port of Tropical Freeze and all, but like, I mean, it's been 5 years since that game, and God, like Breath of the Wild, their development time was like 5 years, you know?
Right.
Like, there's no way they've just been sitting around waiting for the phone to ring. You know?
I agree. They're definitely working on something. Do you think, though, that Nintendo would ask them to scrap, not necessarily scrap, but completely postpone whatever it is they're working on to make Metroid Prime 4? Because that kind of crap happens all the time in the game industry, man.
Yeah, unfortunately. As far as Retro's history, I don't know if you know a lot about Retro's history. I kind of looked into it recently. And I mean, this goes way back. This is like their early years. But their first game was Metroid Prime. And they actually worked on a handful of games before that, and they had 4 games that were canceled.
Jeez.
Yeah,
4?
Yeah, 4. Not all at the same time or anything, but they were working on 4 over the course of a few years, and slowly but surely they canned all 4 of those and ended up working solely on the first Metroid Prime.
That's amazing, though. I mean, to get dealt 4 cancellations and stay ticking, keep on ticking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's.
I don't know. It's rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it does happen. I sure hope it didn't happen with them. Of course, we have no idea what they were freaking working on.
Yeah.
But I imagine it would have been good, whatever it was.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So, Retro's a little bit of an odd one here, like, because we don't know what's going on with them. But I feel like if they have been working on something and it's going to come out, all things planned, then I feel like, man, they've got to show that sucker now. You know? It's been 5 years since their last game. Like, this is the time to show what the freaking heck they've been doing. If they've been doing something and it's still going to come out and hasn't been canned, like man, this is the time to show it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Maybe we'll see it it's another thing here where it's like if Retro Studios is a no-show, I mean, I won't be too surprised. But if we're still going to get whatever they've been working on, like, man, they got to show that now.
Yeah.
They've got to show it. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's Diddy Kong's Poo Poo Platter Fest. Like, just...
Dude, I would play the hell out of Diddy Kong's Poo Poo Platter Fest.
I don't care what it is. Some tone-deaf crap. Like, I just want to know.
But that's the thing. It's not good. They haven't made a bad game, I don't think. So, I mean, I just don't think... I don't even think it would be tone-deaf crap.
No, it wouldn't. And even if
it's something nobody's asking for. They're like, hey, we're making a new Blaster Master. I'd be like, oh, dude, hell yeah. Give me Retro Studios making Blaster Master for 2019. Hell yeah.
Yeah. They would make it work.
They would.
So I wrote down. Well, I guess I'll start with this. Did you write Retro Studios at all?
I did.
Mm-hmm. And where did you place them?
I placed them pretty low, but above Metroid Prime 4. There's no way.
We're
getting any Metroid Prime 4s. Yeah. That's like near the bottom of my list. Like it's right above Mother 3.
It's above Mother 3. Yeah, like there's no way. There's no friggin' way. And if for whatever reason they did, it'd be like nothing. It would be like it'd be like even less than the number 4.
It's the number 3.5. Or maybe they would like show an art asset, like here's what Sam's gonna look like. Okay, bye. We've been working on this game for 4 months.
That's all we got, you guys. Sorry.
That's all we got.
So.
Yeah, I'm not super hopeful about Retro, but that would be very cool. That would be very cool to hear from them. So.
Yeah, I hope so. With Retro, I wrote like three possibilities with them because like touching beloved franchises and stuff seems to be their thing.
Yes.
So it could be a lot of different things. But as far as like what came to mind most, first I wrote Star Fox Guard. I wrote that's actually going to be a thing because it just seems so like specific.
Yeah.
It's just such a weird thing, a Star Fox racing game. It's so specific, and it seems so like not what you would think Retro would be doing.
Right. It'd kind of be nice to try something different.
Yeah. So I have that. I wrote a 3D Donkey Kong game.
Interesting. So like a Donkey Kong 64 type thing.
Yeah. I put Donkey Kong World.
Oh.
And it's a new 3D
Donkey Kong
game. In spirit of Donkey Kong 64, perhaps Dixie's in it, maybe stupid Kitty's in it. Maybe you can switch between characters at will, not some tag barrel bullcrap. That would be amazing. It is totally not going to happen, but I wrote that. And then the third thing I wrote with them is a new IP.
Yeah.
I thought,
that would be great to try, like watch them stretch their legs, try something new.
Mm-hmm. Because I thought, it's been so quiet. It's been 5 years. Like, maybe that's what they're working on. Maybe it's something completely different. Yeah. I wouldn't be like insanely thrown back. Like, whoa, they're not doing a new game from an old franchise. Like, like 5 minutes development time seems like new IP. Maybe.
Could be, man. Honestly, yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see.
All
that being said,
true sequel to Paper Mario.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Dude, if there was a Retro Studios like we're making a real Paper Mario sequel, I would probably like die immediately.
Yeah, I think
that'd be amazing.
I think I'd have like a triple bypass. Like I don't. Yeah, so I'd love to see them, but don't know. We'll see. We'll see. So, okay. So, what do you have next?
Well, going along with that, I'm not necessarily going perfectly in order now, but I might as well talk about this one now. Metroid Prime Trilogy for Switch.
For the Switch.
I think, maybe as a way to sort of bridge the gap between old and new, I think that'd be kind of cool. The problem with it is that they're going to have to come up with new control schemes again. They could probably they could essentially go back to the old control schemes for 1 and 2 for Switch, but they'd have to sort of remake the control schemes for 3 to work on the Switch, which sounds kind of weird. They'd have to do some sort of, acrobatics to make that work. But I think they could, and I think they should. It would really sort of drum up a hype for Metroid Prime 4. It would sort of be a good, logical way to get players into the franchise, new players, people who just got the Switch. Maybe they could even take whatever company was trying to make Metroid Prime 4 and failing horribly, and they could just get them just to adapt the Metroid Prime games for Switch. I mean, why not? That seems like a comparatively easy job than being like technically creative. Cool. So I would love to see this. I would love to see this so much. I've actually been playing Metroid Prime 2 recently. Oh
yeah,
I've been playing. Yeah, I have been. I've been emulating it. Don't tell anybody.
Okay.
I own the game, Nintendo. If you're listening to this, I do own the game.
Yeah.
But
they don't care about the GameCube, really.
I don't want to try to exactly. You don't care about the GameCube, so why should I try and pull my Wii out of mothballs? And it's just those are games those 2 games are amazing. The first game and the second game, that are completely impossible to play now unless you track down a copy of the disc and shove it into a Wii. So I think it would be a really great way to bring those games to the modern era. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, actually, I have that's my next one.
Really? Cool.
Yeah, that's my next one. A Prime Trilogy port to the Switch and all that kind of stuff. It doesn't really scream E3, but
sure.
Don't underestimate Metroid fans. You could announce that at an E3 and people would be freaking excited. And the Prime Trilogy for the Switch, it's been talked about for a few months now. There's been a lot of speculation about it happening. Some dude at Game Informer tweeted he had information it was finished and it was supposed to be announced already or some crap, but then he deleted the tweet later or something.
Okay. You gotta love crud like that.
Yeah, that kind of crud.
It stirs people up into a froth, and they don't know what to believe anymore.
Yeah, it's stupid. I feel like it's gonna happen. I think it's gonna happen. Will it be announced at an E3? I don't know. But
yeah, maybe not E3.
Maybe not E3, but it would be good. With Prime 4 being shelved and the development and all that, a pretty clear indication that we're not getting that game anytime soon. It'd be nice. It'd be a nice kind of olive branch, I guess, to Metroid fans.
And full disclosure, I've never beaten Metroid Prime 3, which is somewhat embarrassing.
Maybe. Well, I haven't played 2 or 3, so it's a little more embarrassing for me, I guess.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Those are great games, but I would say neither of them is as good as the first.
Yeah.
Although, I think the traversal in 2 is slightly less annoying. You don't have to go through Magmore Caverns 900 times to get anywhere. But it's also a little harder overall, so I don't know how you feel about it. But
yeah, the first one seems to be universally considered to be the one people like the most. People say 2 is too hard, and then 3's got motion control crap that I'm sure is fine, but I don't really care about anymore. So I'm definitely
sure.
If I'm gonna go out of my way to play 3, this would be how I would play it. I wouldn't want to unearth some motion control crap, underneath my cellar to do that. So we'll see. The only thing about doing this, and it is true that they did announce recently that Prime 4 has restarted. But if they're going to do this, they still have to be careful how they reveal that, though. Because if they don't reveal it properly, they're still going to see it and think it's Metroid Prime 4.
Yes.
If you show Samus jumping out of a ship or something, I'm sure you're still going to have your good handful of people that are going to be like, oh my god, is that Prime 4? And
right. Don't even give them a chance to get excited for something that's not actually happening. Just come out and say it.
Yeah.
Metroid Prime Trilogy.
Yeah,
it's
just
happening.
Put Metroid Prime Trilogy Switch. I mean, just be outright with it. Don't do some dramatic build up or something. Just don't bother. But still think it could happen.
Sweet.
Hopefully. All right. So let's see. What do I have next? I have a new Mario Kart.
Okay, wow.
Yep.
Yeah, all right.
They talked a little bit more about Mario Kart Tour recently, which had me thinking okay, well maybe not. But I don't know, it's been a while, man. It's been 5 years since the last Mario Kart game.
It's true. Obviously, it's tempting to think about Deluxe, but that's not the first. I mean, you can't count that as a release.
Yeah.
Or as a new game.
Yeah.
It's just 8 with all the DLC.
Yeah. I'm sure it still has its players. I mean, I'm sure people are still.
Well, sure. Yeah. I mean, I played it a good bit.
Mm-hmm. So
I bought it again on Switch.
Yeah. So I'm not sure how obsolete or redundant they want a Mario Kart game to get before they jump on the next one, but I mean it's been a while. I think maybe it's time.
Sure.
And I definitely don't think this year, but maybe March or May of next year. Mario Kart 9. I can see it. So I put that.
You think they're just going to stick with numbers from now on? All right, Mario Kart 9.
Maybe.
Because they did. Yeah, I mean, I could see it.
Yeah, I mean, they did 7
I can understand
and 8,
getting exhausted. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the Fast and Furious series,
Yeah.
Both have cars. They both got tired of coming up with funny titles, so just put numbers on them.
Yeah. Windows got the same way. They're like.
Yeah, you're right.
They're like Vista. Crap.
That was 7.
I guess it's numbers. Okay.
Let's do numbers again. I mean, it used to be numbers.
Yeah.
Let's do numbers again.
Let's do numbers. We did years and stuff for a while.
Yep.
Then we did Windows Me. Windows
Me. Those are all versions of Windows 5, though, aren't they? Technically.
Probably.
I don't know anything. So listen to me.
Yeah.
I spit lies.
Yeah. You've actually used Macintosh your entire life, so.
Right. Yeah. Me, big Mac guy. No, I think Mario Kart's a great guess. I mean, I didn't even think of it, so that goes to show that I probably don't think it's going to happen. But
probably not.
Maybe I just didn't think of it because I just don't think about Mario Kart very often. I mean, I like the Mario Kart games, but they're really best when in a setting with a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't find myself doing that a whole heck of a lot. But I think that's a fine prediction. I really do. I'd love to see it.
Me too. We'll see. It seems like every Mario Kart game it's like the main Mario Kart games. Really, they kind of want to reinvent the wheel. They want to reinvent the wheel a little bit and try a different approach to driving. Seems to be kind of how they approach Mario Kart. Like Double Dash had the 2 characters. Mario Kart Wii had like motion controls. Mario Kart 7 had hang gliders, and 8 had the gravity crap. Mm-hmm. So I assume the next Mario Kart game will do something like that. I don't know. Maybe they'll have freaking boats or something.
Yeah, why not? No wrong answers, man.
Yeah. Diddy Kong Racing, They have planes and
time
hovercrafts.
travel, dude.
Time travel. Oh God. What I would like to see, because I'm what's most important here. What I want to see. Yeah. What I want to see.
It's your video.
Yeah, I mean, screw it. But what I would like to see is maybe sort of like an adventure mode of some kind. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I'd like that sort of thing.
A little similar to Diddy Kong Racing. Hell, you know what? Just rip it off. I don't care. I think that'd be cool. Like a little overworld. Maybe there's like boss fight races or something.
Sure. Here's our brand new character we made for Mario Kart 9. He's a blue elephant who rides a magic carpet.
Hell yeah.
No one's ever seen this character before.
His name is Toge. His name is Mahal.
Mahal. That's good.
Yeah. That's what I would like to see. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be really cool.
It'd be cool. It'd be different.
Agree. Yeah, they'd take the franchise, try to do something a little bit different with it. Yeah, and honestly, just pushing single player modes on anything, I like a lot. I played more Spirits mode and Smash Bros than any other mode. Because I'm a single player usually.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really think that would be great.
Yeah, for the people like me with no friends, that's what we want. So
there you go.
No, not really.
By Spirits mode, I meant World of Light. I don't know if that was. I don't know if you knew what I meant, but
yeah, World of Light. Start again, just because I want to make sure we don't have this massive file. I want to just
I get
break the file up a little bit. Okay. So yeah, Mario Kart Adventure Mode.
Yeah.
Like some stupid PD Piranha race or something.
Dude, actually, PrE3 would be a really good, the catch-all kind of boss for that sort of thing. I think that'd be actually perfect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, isn't he in Double Dash?
Yeah, he is.
He is, but just bring him back. I don't care.
Bring
him back as a racer and also have him be a boss.
Yes.
Yeah.
Appease the PD fans. All those PD fans out there.
Yeah. All those PD fans. Maybe you unlock them after you beat them. There you go. That could be a thing. Yeah.
Why not, dude? Yeah. No Waluigi. None.
Yeah, he's not going to be in the game, but Gold Toadette will be in.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Can't wait to play as Emerald Toadsworth.
And of course, they added Link and the Villager, and they just keep adding more ridiculous, other non-Mario characters, but then they just don't put Waluigi.
Yeah. Come with everything that doesn't even exist before they do Waluigi.
Yeah.
Can't wait to play as Topaz Koopa Troopa.
Can't wait to play as Admiral Akbar.
Dude, yes. I'd play as Admiral Akbar.
Yeah, who wouldn't?
It's basically a blooper.
That's true. Pretty much. Just change the skin a little bit.
Change the skin a little bit. Make him capable of speaking. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. All right, so what do you have next?
All right, so next I have listed, despite the fact that I had Astral Chain up near the top of my list, I have Bayonetta 3 listed. It's been teased for a long time. She's sort of become a Nintendo character. Her most recent game has been Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
Bayonetta 2 was a Wii U exclusive. It's so strange that of all characters, this weird, sexed up librarian looking chick is a Nintendo character. Mm-hmm. It's just one of the strangest crossover events, if you will, in in recent gaming. But she's found her home there, and I think people have been asking for Bayonetta 3 for a while. It definitely has its audience, definitely has its fans. I think that would be a good reveal, despite the fact that Astral Chain is already a platinum game. Why not? The more the merrier. Announce that stuff. Let's go.
Mm-hmm. They, Platinum Games does a lot of stuff. Like, they're pretty consistent.
They do. Yeah.
They do a freaking ton of games. The only thing I'm a little skeptical about with Bayonetta 3 is they talked a little bit about it at the last Direct.
Okay.
Yeah. They just brought it up.
Sure.
Like, right at the end, they didn't show anything. They just, brought it up. And it was just sort of something along the lines of, a lot of you are probably wondering about Bayonetta 3. We wanted to let you know that we're working hard on it, and things are going well. That's...
So shut up.
Shut the hell up.
Leave us alone.
Leave us alone. Go play as her in World of Light.
Yeah.
And that was kind of it. They didn't really show anything. It wasn't like, okay, oh my god, they're going to follow that up with some gameplay.
Right.
And now that we said that, we want to leave you with this. Snap finger. Oh, Bayonetta 3. They didn't do anything like that.
Sure, yeah.
They're just like, hey, Bayonetta 3, it still exists.
Yeah.
So.
And to clarify, this is in my hopefully, but it's near the bottom of my, what I think is, probably not going to show up, but might.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm holding out hope. I'm not a huge Bayonetta fan. I played the first Bayonetta ages ago on Xbox 360, and I liked it. I don't think I ever finished it, and it's kind of stuck in my head that I should go back and finish those games. I've even thought about getting the 2 games on Switch and trying them out. But I want those fans to get the game that they want.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm just magnanimous like that. So yeah, give the people what they want. Give them Bayonetta 3.
Give them Bayonetta 3.
Give them sexy babe in tight clothing. Come on, let's do it. Yeah. Come on, Nintendo.
Come on, sexy librarian lady.
Give me my sexy librarian M-rated experience. You family company.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think Bayonetta 3 would be much higher for me if they hadn't gave that little disclaimer at the last Direct, but
not the little shrug mention.
Yeah, it sort of makes you think maybe it's still going to be a little while, but I don't know. Platinum Games does a lot of crap, so
sure.
Yeah, maybe they just wanted to be like, hey, we didn't forget about it, and then that's it. Yeah. They could still definitely show it. Will it come out this year? I don't know, but we'll see. Maybe it'll be a thing.
Yeah.
All right. So probably, maybe, no.
Sure.
Yes.
No, definitely not. All right. Okay. Doug Bowser.
Yeah. All right.
Doug Bowser comes out in a Bayonetta costume.
That'd be perfect, actually.
That would be perfect.
So I think as of now we've gone through most of what we're, optimistic about, hopeful about. I think by now we're now starting to get into the shrug shoulders territory. I don't really know.
I agree.
Mm-hmm. Maybe, probably not.
Real quick, there's a couple games I didn't mention because I think they're sure things. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 is a sure thing because it's coming out in July. Mm-hmm. So that'll probably show up. And I'm fairly certain that the new Shovel Knight DLC, King of Cards, is going to make an appearance too. It was delayed back in April, and it'll probably make an appearance. So I just want to throw those out there real quick. Mm-hmm. Those are probably going to show up. But they're also announced, so it's not really exciting to talk about. And I don't really care about Marvel Ultimate Alliance. But
later.
And Shovel Knight is just going to be more Shovel Knight, so yeah. Obviously a good thing.
But this time he's the King of Cards.
Oh, I think you play as I don't know what you play. I haven't looked too much into it, but it looks good.
Mm-hmm. I still want to play as Rake Knight.
Rake Knight. Yeah.
There you go.
Play as Rake Knight. Broom Knight.
Broom Knight. There you go. DLC. No, full sequel. Screw DLC with that. I want full sequel with that.
Yeah. Yeah, non-dairy creamer night.
All right, so we're getting into like borderline like self-parody territory here. All right,
Sure, yeah,
so
I'm into that.
all right, so games that I'm not like not happening, but not very confident in. For me, the big one for me is Pikmin 4.
I knew you were going to say it. I wanted to say it before you even did. But I knew you were going to say Pikmin 4. Yeah, I have that listed in the nopes for sure.
Going with nopes on that one, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's too bad, but yeah.
I just don't know, man. It's again, it's sort of like an enigma, you know, like
Yeah, it's like it's been in the tank for so long.
mm-hmm.
It's like even less likely to show up now for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, it's going to be their Half-Life 3. after
God.
that cliffhanger at the end of Pikmin 3 episode 2.
Yeah, where Olimar's helmet blows up. He like launches out into outer space, and
Yeah.
a purple Pikmin goes, "Don't leave me."
Right.
That's the last we've heard of Captain Olimar. So yeah, it's like if we don't see it, you know, I'm gonna be like, yep, yeah, of course. But again, it's like it's been freaking 6 years now. We haven't gotten like anything really. We've gotten like confirmation that they've been working on it. Mm-hmm. But Miyamoto's sort of like he always gives like these vague, like half wrong updates about Pikmin 4, so we just don't really know what to believe anymore.
Strange and vague and imprecise. Yeah, just weird.
Yeah, like years ago he was like the next Pikmin game's close to completion, and then like not like maybe like a couple years later, Hey Pikmin came out. So people So people were sort of like, oh God, is that what he was talking about? Wow. Okay. Yeah. But then later he said something like, no, we're always working on the next Pikmin game. Like, really? You're always working on the next Pikmin game?
At least one guy, just like at a computer somewhere.
Yeah. That's sort of how his announcements have been. It's like, it's sort of like they all come with like really? Like 3 pages of fine print.
Yeah. It's like, is this really what you're meaning to say right now?
Like, yeah, we're always working on the new Pikmin game. Like, oh, well, I actually mean like 3 people, but...
Right, yeah.
Yeah, and we work 2 hours a day. 3 days a week. Only one week per month, but...
Right. Yeah, but technically, always.
Technically, we're always working on it, because it's always on our minds. So, yeah, who knows?
A part-time temp, sometimes thinking about working on Pikmin 4.
Yeah, got a couple of interns.
Yeah.
Working on Pikmin 4. So, yeah, I don't know. I'd love to see it, but...
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're doing something insane with it. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, sure. Maybe like some kind of crazy open-world MMO Pikmin or something. Like some ridiculously... ambitious vision for the future of Pikmin when probably most people just like would be happy with another Pikmin game.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know.
That just kind of plays it safe, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just guessing they have so many, coals in the, so many fish to fry that it's just sort of like back burner type stuff with Pikmin right now.
Yeah, it's not a Mario or Zelda or.
Right.
It's probably not a gigantic system seller or anything like that. Now someone's going to leave a comment showing me that Pikmin 3 sold 1 billion copies or something.
Right. Actually, if you look at the... it's like, okay, thank you.
Like, all right, yeah. Look, the point is, like, if you go up to somebody on the street and, like, name a Nintendo franchise, like, who's going to say Pikmin? Like,
right.
Like, no one's going to say that, so it's probably not, like, a big priority for them. I guess I kind of get it, but we want it.
Yeah.
Please.
in the same sort of like super skeptical category. This isn't necessarily a game, but it's sort of a class of games. I don't think we're going to get anything like Super Nintendo games on NSO. I don't think that's going to happen.
Same here. I had that pretty low as well. Would be nice. Would be nice if they started doing that instead of giving us like 3 NES games like every 2 weeks or whatever.
Right.
God, just like something in that direction. Like, here's Mario World. Like, even just something that communicated like we're paying attention to that now. Would be nice, but yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen. And I think Reggie, of course he's gone now, but whatever. Not too long ago, I think he confirmed they're not going to do any more like micro consoles.
Okay.
Yeah, so like no
N64 Classic
N64 Classic or anything like that. Of course, people would probably go crazy for a GameCube one now, but
yeah, no kidding.
But doesn't look like it's going to happen.
So many good games left in the cold.
I know.
Ignored.
I just want to buy them.
I want to play them things, man.
God, can I just play Mario Sunshine while I'm taking a dump?
Seriously, like
So
how great
much
would
to
that be?
ask.
That is no, it's not. It really isn't.
It's not. It's not that much to ask. I don't think. I'm a spoiled, demanding piece of crap. But I don't think it's too much to ask. I just want to go out into the bayou and be able to play Wind Waker. Like this.
Yeah, seriously. Just let me have that, please.
Let me have that if I want to do that.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Let me play 1,000 Year Door in an airplane.
There you go. Yeah. Instead of Skyrim.
Right. I mean, I already play Skyrim. I've already played Skyrim 100 times.
Mm-hmm.
Don't need it again.
Buys it again.
Yeah.
I don't need Skyrim again. Buys it. Man, another version of Skyrim. God, so still pre-order.
Yeah, partially guilty, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it happens. Alright, so, the next one I listed is, new Paper Mario.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Seems maybe a little too early.
And, man, even if they announce it, it's just going to be disappointing. I hate to be pessimistic about it, but, like, they seem to be going hard in a direction that almost nobody I acquaint with likes. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's hard to say. Because, I mean, they've definitely gotten better about listening to their fan bases. They do seem a little bit more in tune now with what their consumers want. And I can't help but feel like they have to know how people feel about the direction Paper Mario goes in. Like, you would have to go completely out of your way to find somebody or something on the internet saying, like, I think what Color Splash did for the Paper Mario series is what I want them to do from now on.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, like...
Is there anyone out there ravenously enthusiastic about the direction they're taking the Paper Mario series? No.
No. Like, nobody. Like,
no one loves their boring, pandering, idealist interpretation of the franchise. No one.
Yeah. I mean, even if you have all that garbage, just like, the partner system. It's all, God, even they just brought that back, Even if it doesn't have, like, a great story, or even if it's not all that funny, like, just RPG. Like, that's... Yeah. God. I mean, the paper aspect definitely has its charm, but I think it's the partner system and RPG elements that's what people love.
Yeah, I just don't get the... Right, like, the art, you're exactly, the art style is cool, but I don't understand why they think that that's like the draw.
Yeah.
Like that surface level, shallow crap. Like that's not the reason people love your Paper Mario games.
Yeah, it's not.
They loved them for the characters and the story and the clever writing and the gameplay.
Yeah, the partner system, the RPG elements, and all that. Like,
yes,
that's what people liked. They didn't love it because it's all made of paper. Yeah.
Right. It's not even called Paper Mario in Japanese. It's called Mario Story.
Yeah. So there you go.
It's a story.
Mario Story. Exactly.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Don't want to yell, but it's a sensitive subject.
Yeah, it is. So hopefully the people have been vocal enough that they'll at least try it again. At least be like, okay, well, we'll do one more Paper Mario game like that and see how it does. Just try it. Clearly, you're willing to take risk.
Yeah. I feel like they're in a spot where they're willing to take risks now, because it seems like if they, for the most part, they've paid off. Like Mario and Rabbids was good. Mario Odyssey, they kind of went nuts with it a little bit, and that sold like hotcakes.
Yeah.
They turned the franchise on the head for Zelda. Go for it.
Yeah, go for it. Try something different. I say that when I'm also wanting them to go back and do the old thing that they did. But
yes.
Anyway.
Yes. Give me innovation, but also give me the old things that I like.
Yeah. I want old and new, but I want old. But I want
do it all, Nintendo. Do it all, Doug Bowser. Come on.
You're capable, man.
Got some big shoes to fill. You got Reggie's size 25 shoes to fill.
Oh man. So maybe. Yeah. In the same category, I don't really think this is E3 territory, but I threw out the possibility of a Paper Mario remake.
Interesting.
Just because they've done that a couple times over the years now. They did 2 of the Mario Luigi games, and they did Luigi's Mansion.
Sure.
And they've got the assets.
Yep.
They could do it on the 3DS with Sticker Star. They could do it on the Switch with Color Splash.
I would be ecstatic.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love it, and it'd be a good way to kind of get in touch with that fan base and be like,
sure, test the waters.
Yeah, be like, let's see how this one does. If it sells octuple amounts more than Color Splash, then you probably got something there. So
yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, I'd love to see it, but maybe, probably not, but maybe. Just don't do it on the 3DS because people will be mad. That's a little too far.
You're right. Right.
People will be freaking mad. They won't want to. They'll buy it, but they'll be mad. They'll be like,
yeah, they'll do it begrudgingly. Okay.
They'll be like, man, look.
But I'm not happy.
Yeah. They'll be like, man, look how good Color Splash looks. Like it'd be perfect to do this with Paper Mario, but Sticker Star engine. So yeah, don't do that.
Don't do that.
All right, so the only other game I threw in here as far as possibilities, and I think I was reading some stuff about this game recently, I just kind of threw it in there, was Rocket League 2.
Oh, okay, interesting. Sure.
Yeah.
I can see it happening.
Yeah. I think some kind of sequel to that game will happen. I think Rocket League is actually a sequel to some game that people didn't really care about. But it's definitely found quite a bit of success on the Switch.
Yeah.
Yeah, people do seem to
people
really
love
like
Rocket
that
League.
game. Yeah.
Yeah, people love Rocket League.
Mm-hmm. So, it might be like a multi-platform thing. I don't know if it'll be like a timed Switch exclusive, but the Switch definitely seems like if it's going to be exclusive on any system, that's the place to have it, and therefore, maybe we'll see.
Yeah.
So do you have anything else as far as
the rest
as far as like possibilities, like maybe?
This is a long shot, but I think possible that we could see another Bethesda game coming to Switch. Mm-hmm. And so I was thinking either we see like a Fallout 4 or Fallout 3, or possibly even because you know it's going to be revealed at the Bethesda conference a few days earlier, possibly even a build of Doom Eternal, the sequel to Doom 2016. Yeah. A possible build of Doom Eternal coming to Switch. I think that one's a long shot because not even Doom 2016 ran very well on Switch, but they were trying to fix it to work on Switch. I'd be pretty surprised if Doom Eternal came to Switch, but I think, Skyrim sold well. Bethesda has expressed desire to work with Nintendo going forward, and I think Fallout 3 or New Vegas. Well, New Vegas is Obsidian. I don't know. That's complicated. Oh, there you go. That's good.
That's my response.
A little texture in the call there. Yeah, I think 3 or 4. I think that'd be good for Switch. Fallout 3 or 4, that is.
Yeah, something.
That's my only other baby. The rest of my... Man, what'd you eat, dude?
What'd you eat, dude?
All my other nopes... that's like my last, hopefully. All my other nopes consist of all other third-party support that I think some people have sort of played around the idea of, but I just don't think it's going to happen. I think it's going to be most of the third-party support you're going to see from Japanese developers, and a few Western developers, and people are throwing out stuff like, oh, the new Call of Duty is going to come on Switch. Oh, the rumored Watch Dogs 3 is going to come out on Switch. Madden 19. I think all that stuff is bunk. I don't think any of it's going to happen.
Yeah. Plus, I don't know if the Switch can run any of those.
And that's pretty much every game I wrote down. Do you have anything else?
I have a few more things. I'm gonna take a quick bathroom break, so I'll be right back.
You gonna stop the recording? All right. Well, looks like he did. I think. This is just dead air here. Me talking about myself. I'm gonna grab a quick drink because I'm not one for awkward silences. Was that a real fart?
No.
God.
Pretty good.
I thought. Yeah. Would you just make that with your noise? With your mouth?
Yeah. Just raspberried. All right. So I wrote a few more at the bottom.
Okay.
And I'm probably not going to see any of this. But
that's fine. It's fun. Just think.
Yeah, it's fun to think about. I of course threw in Mother 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just cause,
I can't make an E3 Nintendo predictions list without at least mentioning it in some, usually a scant, sarcastic way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. And even if they did that, I don't know if it would be like an E3 kind of thing. But I threw it in there, but probably not gonna happen. I put a Breath of the Wild sequel.
Yeah, I was wondering if you were going to mention that. That's super optimistic. But if they do that, I will poop my pants. So
yeah,
I would love it. But
yeah, Breath of the Wild sequel or something like that.
Yeah.
But then again, like I feel like people would so be like not expecting that, especially with Link's Awakening remake. That God, they would just blow people away if they announced that.
That would nail that floor, man. This thing is like people are like, oh, remember Majora's Mask, man? They did it with Majora's Mask. It just seems like they haven't done that since then. It seems like every time they want to redefine themselves, they got to change the art style, like throw everything in the trash every time they make a new Zelda game.
Pretty much,
I wish they wouldn't.
Yeah, because what do you have with Breath of the Wild? Like, man, just you don't have to like. All right, let's call it a day, you guys. Good job. Let's do something completely new now. Like, man, just don't care. Like, just take advantage of that.
You put so much thought into that game. Just do that. Like, take that engine. I don't know, change it up. Try again. It'd be so good.
Yeah, I'd love it. And if anyone complains, well, screw them.
Yeah.
Who cares? So, not too confident in that one, but I threw that out. Threw that at the bottom. Alongside that, I put like a Zelda spin-off type of game with maybe some Breath of the Wild assets.
Okay.
So you know, like a Hyrule Warriors or Triforce Heroes, something like that.
People have sort of complained about how at the end of Breath of the Wild sort of leaves the story almost incomplete, and they'd like to see the rebuilding part of that story where that you rebuild Hyrule after defeating Calamity Ganon. I think that would be amazing. I would love to play that game.
Really?
I don't know what kind of form that game would take, but I would play it.
For sure. I mean, I would love to see them continue that. And I mean, they do that kind of stuff. I mean, the Zelda DS games are, you know, in a sense, I mean, they're like Wind Waker sequels.
Yeah.
They're like touchpad bullcrap, but I mean, you know, they didn't just say, oh, here's a brand new Link, you guys. You know, he lives in, you know, Poo-Poo Land. I mean, yeah.
Poo-Poo Land.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, you know, they took Wind Waker and did more with that Link. And they did that with Majora's Mask. Do it with this game, you know? I mean, I definitely think that the story's probably one of the weakest aspects of that game.
Sure.
And yeah, it definitely kind of ends like, oh, all right, I guess that's the ending.
Yep.
Leaves a lot to be
Pretty
desired.
abrupt.
Yeah, do more of that crap. You know, maybe Calamity Ganon was just like some bad gas from the real threat. I mean,
yeah. Saved the world from a cosmic fart.
There you go. And they did DLC stuff, but you know, it was just kind of like extra fun little things. You know, it wasn't like whichever Witcher 3 DLC was, where it
It actually takes place after the story of the game.
Yeah, you know, like actually brings conclusion to Geralt's story. I don't remember if it's Blood and Wine or the Hearts of Butter or whatever.
Hearts of Butter, yeah. I think it's Blood and Wine. I'm talking as somebody who hasn't even played any of it, so I know I'm a sinner. I will amend my ways in due time, possibly even this year. So
yeah, we'll see. Maybe, probably,
maybe,
possibly. Witcher 3 on the Switch.
Dude, confirmed.
Yeah, it'd be cool, but probably not. And then once again, I had these two at the bottom last year.
Okay, let me chase you. Oh boy, let me see if I can guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
I might even have had them at the bottom the year before. I don't know, but
boy, what would be at the bottom, like below Mother 3?
Yeah, I don't know if they're
Half-Life 3 for Switch.
Yeah, well, I mean that would probably be lower than these two, but.
Raz from Psychonauts as a playable character in Smash.
Yeah, a little bit higher.
I don't know. I don't know. What are they?
Okay. First one is a new Kid Icarus game.
Okay.
And then the last one is new F-Zero.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, pretty much every E3 I go into, I'm like, who knows? You know. Maybe, but it never happens. And I'm just like, yeah, it didn't happen again.
Yeah.
That's probably not going to happen. Yeah. I mean,
yeah, those franchises feel pretty well abandoned at this point.
F-Zero, definitely. Kid Icarus just has a lot of issues because, like, I mean, Sakurai has pretty much moved on from that, and the company that made Uprising went inexplicably defunct right after the game came out, and
well, I can explicate it for you. That game was hard to play.
Yeah.
You need 3 hands to play.
Yeah. You need to be like freaking Machamp to play that game. So.
Yeah.
So I mean, if there's gonna be a new Kid Icarus thing, my first thought
favorite game is it's Kid Icarus Uprising.
My first thought was Goro from Mortal Kombat, but I wasn't sure if you knew Goro.
Oh, Goro.
You know Goro?
Yeah.
Okay. right, well, Gore's a little bit.
Third,
Machamp's maybe a little bit funnier. So.
Machamp's funny. Glad you changed it to Machamp.
Yeah, I mean, if Kid Icarus is gonna happen, I mean, they're gonna have to get handed over to another company.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know,
dude. That's what Retro's doing, dude. Right here.
It's
dude throwing it down.
It's crossed my mind actually, but probably not.
Yeah, probably not.
I'm sure it'd be good, but
yeah, if there's a company out there who could do it right, it would be them.
Oh yeah, for sure.
First person game.
Hell yeah. I'd be happy with them just like porting Uprising and just making it control better. Honestly.
Yeah, if they could get that to work on the Switch or something, make it work so you don't need 4 arms like Machamp. I mean, that would be great.
It'd be great, yeah. And then F-Zero is always it's always just a joke.
Yeah.
Answer right there.
It's pretty much a joke. It's like no one gives a crap about F-Zero anymore.
Yeah. People want a new F-Zero game right now, just for the sake of there being a new F-Zero game. I don't know if people really truly want a new F-Zero game. They just want to see them do something with it again.
Use that franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they haven't made a new game because people are still trying to beat GX.
Yeah. They
why.
figured that'll keep you busy for about 17 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's weird for that game to be considered one of the hardest games ever.
Yeah, I know.
It's so
weird.
A
freaking Nintendo game.
A Nintendo F-Zero racing game.
Right.
Really that?
That's one of the hardest games of all time. I've never played it, and frankly, I don't have a desire to.
I don't. If I was to play it, it would just be to see what all the fuss is about.
Right. Rent it and then promptly return it when I can't beat level 2.
Yeah. Be like freaking Battletoads with the turbo tunnel.
Right.
Well, that's all I got.
Oh, well, I think that's all I got, too. I just kind of thought we were talking about maybe Resident Evil 4, because that game, there's a law in the universe where Resident Evil 4 is supposed to come out on every game system, so...
Mm-hmm. It is.
It does have to come out on Switch, so...
Mm-hmm. Resident Evil 4 is on Switch.
It is already?
Well, if not now, soon. It's coming out really soon.
Look at that. Man, my predictions are so good they already happened.
Yeah. There you go.
I didn't even know. I guess I probably even heard this news, but the idea of Resident Evil 4 coming to a new console is so I don't give a crap. It's unremarkable to me because it comes out on new things all the time that probably didn't even register.
It's true, man. It didn't even occur to you that it was going to happen.
I have to buy that.
It actually just came out May 21st.
Oh my god, dude! I'm gonna buy that. That's a problem. I'm gonna buy freaking Resident Evil 4 for the 5th time.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's $30, so.
Dude, I'll probably do it anyway. I'm such a sucker for that kind of crap. Instead of playing a new game, I'll play this safe thing that I've played 100 times.
Dude, I mean that's why the games are re-released on consoles. I mean, it's a thing. I mean, people like to do that. They like to play games on new consoles, and I'm not gonna sit here and act like I don't do that because I do it.
Yeah. Did you know what I decided my vacation RPG would be this year?
Oh no! What is it?
Chrono Trigger.
Oh.
I know, but it's been a couple years. It's been a couple years.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna judge you for picking that. I mean,
I never actually beat it on DS, so that's maybe why I'm playing. I've never beaten the DS version.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I played it sometime late last year or something. Maybe even really early this year. I can't remember, but I replayed it. And I played it on the DS actually.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Did you beat it?
I think I got really close.
It doesn't. It's actually not that long of a game.
That's
not
the thing
really.
too. I mean, that's part of what makes Chrono Trigger so good. It's a freaking JRPG. It's not 70 hours long. Yeah.
Right. No random encounters. Beautiful.
Yeah, no random encounters, no bull crap. Actually fun to play. So have you started it, or you're just...
Yeah, I started.
Oh, okay. So where are
I'm
you?
I'm I'm in first visit to 2300. I haven't gotten Robo yet, but
Oh, okay.
I'm about to get Robo.
Oh, okay.
So pretty early still, maybe 5 hours in.
Okay. So that's like the bleak future
Yeah.
area. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I screwed up. I tried to get all of the good stuff to happen in the trial, but I forgot the one thing to do.
Oh, nah.
I tried to get all not guilty, and I couldn't get it. I didn't get it.
Well, it's a thing. I mean, you're busted out
It's a thing.
really quickly, so...
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Based on where you are right now, man, one thing that stood out to me a good bit when I played it in my last playthrough of it was just how well paced that game is.
Oh yeah,
I mean, if you just think
it's
about,
so good.
just look at your game right now and just think about how much has happened so far.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the pacing is so fast for an
I know.
RPG.
It is like insanely fast, but not in a bad way either. You know.
Right. It's like you went from like visiting your friend at the fair to just like YOLOing into a rift through space time to save a girl you just met, and then you find her and she disappears because her ancestor is going to die, so you have to save her ancestor. Then she reappears, and then you go and you think because she disappears you're going to get in trouble in the past for going into a room and all of a sudden she's not there anymore, but that doesn't happen. Instead, when you go back to your time, you get in trouble in the present for kidnapping Marl.
Mm-hmm.
And you go to prison and you break out, and then you escape into the future, and then you discover that into the distant future, and you discover that the world was destroyed by Lavos, and you're like, let's just prevent the apocalypse.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. And
That's the game. That's the
happens,
first 5 hours.
Yeah, that happens in like 5 hours. Most
First 5 hours
RPGs,
of
it
a
would take...
Japanese RPG, dude.
Yeah, it would take 60 hours for that to happen in most JRPGs.
I know.
God. You'd still be like going around collecting like fucking coconuts in the first town.
Dude, you're so right, dude.
Yeah. You'd still be doing like the tutorial of the first town.
Yes. You fight your first, you'd be fighting blob enemies still.
Yeah, blob enemies. You would just now be getting to what you could sort of call a boss fight if you squinted at it hard enough.
Right.
Like extra gooey blob that has like 30 HP or something.
Yeah, you finally put away your wooden sword.
You get your first party member. Like that would happen.
Yeah, honestly and truly, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And also, like the gameplay mechanics are, like, I mean, it's so good at just giving you satisfying gameplay, like so early on. I mean, think about like how quick you get the cyclone.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's like after
That's
it's like
way
after
early.
Yeah, it's like your first encounter or something. You learn that.
You get like one tech point and you learn it.
Mm-hmm.
Or something. It's not that low, but it's very quick.
Yeah, it's very quick, and it's like great.
Yeah, and it's cool because it helps you learn about positioning in battle and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and how that's important. I really like figuring out like drawing lines and stuff is always fun. Like, ooh, I can hit this guy. I can hit both these guys if I aim for the person in back.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of fun for me. Man, that game's perfect.
It is, dude. It's like, God.
Dude, I was freaking like hiking today, and I was like whistling Frogs theme. Like,
Oh man, it's
it's good.
like there's no wrong answer for favorite piece of music in that game. Really,
There isn't.
I'm sure I'll come up with something later. Like I don't know that. I don't know, maybe that.
Yeah. Or just the song that sounds like drips and like,
Oh yeah.
or like
Yeah, maybe something like that. But
Tiny little pieces of awesome music that you only see once, like the trial music. It's so
Oh,
good.
I love the trial music, man. God, it's
It's
perfect.
amazing. The song they use in the sewers is really good in the future too.
Hmm. Oh yeah, man. All that music that reflects the like really bleak future. God, it's like perfect. It's like
Yeah,
so depressing.
the game's good.
Game's pretty good. I don't really care for like the racing the dude or whatever, but well,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
actually, I'm about to do that with the jet bike. Yeah, it's like the
Hmm.
next thing I'm doing.
Hmm. But yeah, it's an RPG thing. You know, they got to do that. They always have to like make this left turn where they give you a completely different kind of gameplay, like just for a little
Yeah,
bit.
and there's so many good left turns in that game too. I mean, when you freaking lose. Uh, wait, should I not spoil this? Are we still recording at this point?
I'm actually recording, but I mean, I'm probably not gonna include this or anything. I'll go ahead and just